Anytime these two teams meet, Duke and North Carolina, you just know it's going to be electric. But this time, this wasn't just a game. What we saw when number 1 Duke met their arch-rival, number 17 UNC, was an absolute second-half explosion. It was a statement. So let's get into it and break down exactly how this Blue Devil dominance went down.
Right, so this wasn't just any old game on the schedule. This is Duke. This is Carolina. And for the Blue Devils, this one was personal. They were out for revenge, big time, after UNC beat them with a heartbreaker just a month before. You could feel it in the air. This was going to be an absolute battle.
And just look at the setup. On one side, you've got Duke, the number 1 team in the entire country, sitting on an incredible 28-2 record, just hungry for payback. And on the other, a really tough 17th-ranked UNC team trying to prove that first win was no fluke. But, you know, before a single whistle blew, the whole story of this game took a really tragic turn.
Just when the Tar Heels were gearing up for arguably their biggest game of the year, the absolute unthinkable happened. Just a terrible, terrible piece of bad luck that would completely change the outlook for their entire season.
It's just brutal. Their star freshman, Caleb Wilson, who was just about to come back from a different injury, goes and breaks his other thumb in a non-contact drill of all things. I mean, season over, just like that. You can't imagine the emotional blow that is for a team right before they have to go play their biggest rival.
And yet, you gotta hand it to North Carolina. They came out swinging. I mean, they just lost a key player. They're playing in one of the toughest arenas in all of sports, and they didn't back down one bit. For a long, long time, this was anybody's ballgame.
Look at that score right there. At halftime, Duke is only up by 5. The Tar Heels were right there, trading blows, making it that gritty, tough rivalry game that we all expected. It really felt like this thing was going to go right down to the wire.
But the injury bug wasn't just on one side. Duke had their own scares happening right in the middle of the game. All of a sudden, their starting big man, Patrick Ngongba II, shows up on the bench in a walking boot. And then their starting point guard, Caleb Foster, limps off the court and he comes back in a boot too. So the tension was just getting higher and higher.
And then, with just under 17 minutes left to play, UNC gets a basket, and they cut the lead to just 3. That's it, a one-possession game. It was right there for the taking.
And right there, at that exact moment, it's like the number 1 team in the country just decided, okay, that's enough. The tide didn't just turn, a tidal wave hit.
What we saw next was just a masterclass in basketball. It was an absolute display of power and precision that completely, and I mean completely, overwhelmed the Tar Heels. The game was decided in just a few minutes of pure dominance.
It all started with this suffocating defense that just fueled their offense. A layup, then a 3, then a steal that leads to a huge dunk. And before UNC could even figure out what hit them, Duke had ripped off 16 straight points. The lead went from 3 to 19 in what felt like the blink of an eye. The defense was just relentless. For 6 straight minutes of game time, North Carolina did not score a single point. 6 minutes! Every shot was challenged, every pass was tipped. It was an absolute clinic on how to shut a team down. And get this, think about this for a second. In a stretch of game time that was over 10 minutes long, North Carolina made exactly 1 basket. 1. Duke just wiped their offense completely off the floor. So what does that all add up to? Well, that tiny little 3-point lead exploded into a massive gap, all thanks to an unbelievable 24-2 run by Duke. The game was officially over. It wasn't a contest anymore. It was a statement, and it was led by one guy's incredible performance.
Yeah, in a game that was packed with stars, Cameron Boozer shined brighter than anyone. When his team needed someone to step up and take over, man, did he deliver. It was one of the best games of his career, and he did it on the biggest stage imaginable.
He was just a force on offense. He poured in 26 points, scoring from everywhere on the court, and it felt like he couldn't be stopped, especially during that game-changing run.
And he owned the backboards. 15 rebounds. He was snatching everything, ending any chance of a second shot for Carolina and kicking off Duke's fast break. Just total control in the paint.
And it wasn't just scoring and rebounding. He was finding his teammates too, dishing out 5 assists. It was the total package, an absolute masterpiece of a game from him.
So when that final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard told the whole story of that second half. A 15-point win that honestly felt like even more of a blowout than that.
Revenge? Yeah, it was served.
Okay, so regular season's done, and now these two rivals go their separate ways, but they're both looking ahead to the postseason with the same goal in mind, winning a championship.
Both teams get a nice break, a double bye, and they'll start their journey in the ACC Tournament quarterfinals. For Duke, this is a chance to prove they really are the team to beat. For UNC, as the number 4 seed, it's a chance to hit the reset button and show everyone they can still make a run in March, even without Caleb Wilson.
Which really leaves us with the million-dollar question, right? Duke is red hot, riding an 8-game winning streak, and they just put on a clinic against their biggest rival. So, was this just about revenge, or was this a preview of what's to come? Is this a team that's getting ready for a deep, deep run in March? I guess we're all about to find out.